I actually want to revisit something, though, that happened a little bit earlier in the weekend. It was notable Friday in the Bulls game against the Bucks. So Grayson Allen, he picked up a flagrant 2 and was ejected for this foul on Alex Caruso. And it turned out that Caruso suffered a wrist injury that's going to require surgery, and it's going to sideline him for 6 to 8 weeks. And Allen has been given a suspension that is 1 game following the incident. So for more on this story, we have our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. So Woj, was Allen's prior history considered when the league came up with the suspension?
Malika, really more what was considered was the fact that Alex Caruso got injured, and the league is allowed to do that because initially it appeared that the league was going to allow just the ejection to stand, the flagrant 2 foul, the ejection of Allen from the game. And then when they found out the next day on Saturday that Alex Caruso had suffered a fractured wrist, then it was, they ultimately came to the 1 game suspension. But when you look at prior history for Alex Caruso, for Grayson Allen, he had 1 flagrant in the NBA. And certainly, you know what people were referring to. They're referring to Duke when there were instances of him tripping people, putting his leg out. That's not relevant to the NBA looking at. Now, it was Billy Donovan's opinion. And, he brought up the history, and clearly that's what Billy Donovan or those in Chicago were talking about. But the NBA is looking at your history with flagrant fouls or plays where players may have get injured or somebody would consider it a dirty play. He had 1 flagrant in, I think, about 167 NBA games. I think the injury to Caruso essentially got him the 1 game suspension.
Right, because the Bulls, long term now, they have injuries to both Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. So are they looking into any temporary replacement options as we approach the trade deadline, Woj?
Yeah, listen, they can sign some players to 10-day contracts. They can do some things, players on the margins, G League players. But, the idea that you're going to go out and make a significant trade because you have Ball and Caruso out for 8 weeks, it's not how they're going to handle it. Listen, they're still tied in the loss column at the top of the East. Of course, they're only 3 games away from 7th place. But this is a team still with enough talent with DeMar DeRozan, with Zach LaVine, who hopefully is back here in the next day or 2 for the Bulls. They have enough talent, to continue winning. Now, certainly they may not be able to compete to stay in 1st place in the East. Caruso, Ball are significant players for them, but you've seen them have developed some young backcourt depth this season. And this is a Chicago team that, they're going to get these players back. And they piled up so many wins. I think it's even more impressive given all the COVID issues they had, injuries they had, and the fact that they've built themselves a cushion to withstand this, still be in the playoff chase, and get everybody back in plenty of time for the postseason.
Well, and you still have someone like DeMar DeRozan going off for 41 points, right? And so this is a team that is incredibly deep. They're talented. Let's see what they can do without Alex Caruso for at least a little bit. Woj, thank you so much. Really appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.